Hi and welcome to an alphabet app developed using Visual Basic. Well guys, let me show you how it works. If I click on letter A,
that is for apple.
And you will see an apple there. A is for apple. Let's try out B.
B is for banana. C is for cherry.
This is a very interesting
D
app
is for durian.
for children to learn.
L is for lychee. K is for kiwi.
The app not only teaches children how to spell, and it also introduces them to
M is for mango.
different fruits.
O is for orange.
Okay guys, so
Z is for donut.
the other thing on this
for
app
blueberry.
is we can always reset it. There we go, and start all over.
U is for Cuba. K is for kiwi. M is for mango. N is for nutmeg. B is for banana.
Okay, so what I'm
D
going
is
to
for
do now
durian.
is I'm going to take you guys straight into
F is for Big Joe's.
Visual Studio 2017, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now guys. Okay, now let's start. Click on create new project, and right there I'm going to give the project a name. I'll call it VB underscore learning app. That's the name of my project. Make sure Visual Basic application is selected, and then select Windows Forms application. Click on OK. Okay, now that the form is ready, I'm going to define the size of this form. I will make it, let's make that 1300 plus by 788, and this is going to be 1386. There. That's the size of my form set right there. And here, start position, I'm going to make that center, and the form name, let's call that learning. Up. Right there. Okay, the next thing I'd like to do is to get a button on board. I'm going to need a lot of those. So this very one, let's enter letter A in there and set this size to by 151 by 160, and here let's change this to 48. There we go. Make that bold, and let's select 48. Alright, I can just copy it across. Right there guys, and I'm going to also need a picture box, the same size for the picture box. Let's come in here, change the picture box to approximately the same size, 150, comma 160, and make that one here. That's it. At the back of this picture box, I'm going to change that to, let's change it to white right there. So what I'll do now is just speed up the copying of these buttons and so on, then I will arrange it properly and get back to you guys. Just hold on to your control and drag it down. That's all there is to it. So in total we're going to need 28 of this, 28 buttons in total. And there we go guys. This is how the final output of the form is looking. That's how it looks now. So what we need to do now is to start work with the coding. However, in here I have a timer, I have a label here, and another label here called learning app. And And we have a picture box here. This picture box, I will use that just to display the different images for each of the alphabet. Okay, we have a timer as well. So now the first thing I'd like to do is let me double click on that and declare some global variables. Okay, right up here I'm going to enter as follows: dim SAPI. Okay, in the case of SAPI, that is the Speech Application Programming Interface. Okay, because I intend that very device to read my components or read whatever I have on the label. Okay, the other more thing I'm going to declare is, let's say, R, G, B, and Y. That's supposed to be red, green, blue, and yellow. I'm going to declare those as strings there. Now the first thing I like to do is let's come straight into form load. Let's double click on the form load itself. On the form load, I'm going to enable the timer 1 dot start. There we go. Right, so as soon as I start running the program, timer 1 will be automatically enabled. Then A, let's double click on A and let's just say SAPI equals create object, and the object is going to be SAPI dot sp voice as the object I would like it to create. Then the next thing is, let's say SAPI dot speak, say A is for apple. There we go. There. And what about changing? Let's change the font of btna dot font equals new font. Now creating the object font, and in this case I'm going to use Comic Sans MS. So let's make that approximately 16, comma, let's say the font style dot bold there, and yeah, that bold. Okay, that is fine. Now let's say btn dot text equals apple there. So when I click on it, what will happen is this apple will be displayed and SAPI should read as follows. Okay, but before I continue, let me go to my project now and just upload all the images that I need. Click on the file name right here. That's the file name. And then let's select resources, this very one, click on that. And the next thing, you see where we have strings, select that, and then we select images. And right here where we have add resources, we want to add existing file. I'm waiting for it to load up. Okay, on my desktop I do have my existing file. It's called images. There we go. Those are all the images that I need. I'm going to now select them all and just add them onto the system in one go. I see there might be some more right underneath here. Yeah, there should be 26 of those. Click on open, and they should all appear on the resource folder now. There we go, guys. Those are my images. So now let's go back straight onto the coding area. You see right here, what I'm gonna do is let's come back down here, and I'm gonna enter picture box 1 dot image equals my dot resources dot apple. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Look at the lines of code. That is for the very first one, from here down. So all I just need to do is just to copy and paste for the next one and change the names around. But before then, let's run it and you guys will see what I'm talking about. There we go, guys. Now let's try out letter A.
That is for apple.
You hear that, guys? That changes to apple. Okay, reset is not working yet, so let's go back. All I just need to do now is I'm going to copy all of this and paste it into B and change whatever we have in there around. So let's go back to the form, double click on let B, paste that in there, and right here where we have the apple dot banana, let's copy that and change this around, and this as well. B is for banana, and this one also. There we go. Okay, so B is taken care of. We need to change the object name back to B. So copy. Let's repeat exactly the same thing for letter C. Paste that in there. C should be something to do with Sherry. There we go. Copy the Sherry and just repeat exactly the same thing. This is Sherry, and here is a C, and that is Sherry right there, and this become a B, a C, sorry. Right, now I believe you guys get the whole idea, so I'm just going to speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay guys, I've finished with the codes for the buttons. There they are. So let's run it and you guys see how it looks like. And there we go. If I click,
I is for Edith Palm.
you hear that?
L is for lychee. K is for kiwi. S is for strawberry.
Okay, but the
P is for pineapple.
if you guys can
That is
notice,
for apple.
you notice there's no, the previous one do have
M is for mango.
an underline, which I have not included in
Then
this
is
one.
for nutmeg.
Okay, now reset is not working, exit is not working, and the random color changer or changing function is not included as well. So let's come back in here. First of all, let's take care of exit. In the case of the exit, I'm going to declare QExit as dialog result. So let's add a message in there. Let's say QExit equals message box dot show, and that's going to be confirmed if you want to exit. Right, that's the message to the user, and we say comma. Let me enter the name of my product there. Let's call it maybe learning. Let's say learning app. Yeah, and come right here. Let's enter comma. Let's enter message box button right there. Dot yes or no, and comma message box icon as well. So that will display either an information icon or a question icon. Let's go for the question icon here. Now that that is done, we use an if statement to determine which of the built-in function is selected. So if qexit equals dialog results dot yes, then we say application dot exit, and that's all there is to it. So we've taken care of the exit button. Now let's come in here and take care of the reset. Double click on the reset. The first thing I would like the reset to do is to clear the picture box. So I'm going to copy that. Picture box equals nothing. There, that's all there is to that one. Now the next thing is we now need to change the fonts of, let's say, a dot text equals that. Okay, that's for the letter A. And I will also need to change a back to what it was. So I'm going to copy all of these. Let's copy that, paste that in there. But the problem is A is not using this font style. It's actually using the Microsoft Sans. Yeah, and that is meant to be 48, right there. So that is for letter A. Okay, so let's try out A just to make sure that it's working as we expect, or as expected. If I click on A,
is for Apple.
There we go. Let's go for reset. So I expect these to delete this and these to return back to letter A. There we go. That's working how we want. So all I just need to do now is back in here, let's copy this and we change it for B. Paste, change this to B. This is B as well. That's B. Repeat the same thing for C. That's a C here. There. So let's speed that up, guys. Okay, guys, those are the lines of code for the resets taken care of. Let's take it up so that you can see it. There we go. And that's all there is to it for the reset. Now we need to take care of the timer itself. Double click on the timer. Right inside the timer here, if you guys can still recall the variable that I declare right up there, let's highlight this so that I know where I am. Those variables, I'm going to make use of these variables now. So if I come back, let's go back to my timer again, double click on it. So the first thing is R equals, let's use int, then let's use random function. Let's multiply that by 255. Okay, so select random between 0 and 255. That is for R. I'm going to repeat the same thing for G, B, and Y. So G, the same thing, and here we have B, then we have Y. There. Now the next thing is, let's come back in here now. We now need to call, let's say, btn a dot for color equals color dot from argb and let's let that be R G B Y. There. So we're choosing between those colors. So let me repeat the same thing for the others. So let's say this is B, and we have C here, and this is meant to be D. So I can just swap the colors around. Right, and repeat exactly the same thing for this one. Okay, and this one as well. So those are my color mixture. So if I run it, you see what's going to happen to those four buttons. Okay, look at that, guys. Alright.
D is for durian. C is for cherry.
Okay, so when I click on reset, there. Okay, now what I'll just do is I'm going to highlight all of this and just speed it all up. Copy, paste it right underneath there and speed it up. Okay, there we go, guys. Those are the lines of codes completed for the color changing function right inside the timer itself. So take it down so that you guys can see it. And I've also changed the font colors of the two labels. So let's run it now, or maybe let me show you the whole codes again before I run the whole system. That's for each of those buttons right there. Those are for the buttons, and here that's for exit. And right here I have the reset lines of codes there, and finally the codes for the timer there. And on the form load, I actually start the timer there. So if I run it now, there we go, guys. So I can select.
Z is for zombie. Q is for quint. K is for kiwi. J is for Jennifer. The is for apple. M is for mango. R is for raspberry.
Okay, guys, since you all get the whole idea, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it. So you all have a nice day now. Bye for now.